Brad, what can you take from the last game against Milwaukee?
Well, I mean, I thought they did a really good job. They're hard to play against. They're talented. Nobody's going to change, an entire system overnight. Obviously, you can add small tweaks and those type of things, but you have 82 games of information on each other, and certainly when you play each other, you tend to view those films and see what they went to and what they thought would be effective.
Al was talking about what makes this group really good is staying in the moment. You can't win the series right away. You got to win one game. You got to win one possession. How good is this group at doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good. I mean, as far as responding, if something doesn't go our way, I think we're good at moving on. And if something goes our way, I haven't seen like a whole lot of residual effect the next day with complacency. So I think that I expect this team will play game one, look at what we did wrong, look at what we can improve, and play game two, and just kind of go day by day like that.
How much do you appreciate that, the mental toughness of this group because of all they've gone through this year?
Yeah, I don't think we'd be sitting where we were if we didn't have a good deal of that in that locker room. I think that they're able to move on to what's next. They're committed to each other. They're not going to dwell on a bad performance individually and let it affect their next day. They're not going to raise banners over a good performance individually and let it hurt the next day. It's a very, very kind of to the next thing group.
Brad, how important is playing team defense going to be and trying to disrupt what Giannis does so well?
Yeah, I mean, Giannis, Jabari, Middleton, they've got a number of very good players. Obviously, that's how we've tried to guard all year. Just playing together, playing on a string. We've had our moments where we've been really good, and so obviously we're going to have to be very locked in to make it as difficult as possible. There's some shots that you have to tip your cap and move on, and then there are some shots that you can do a little bit better. Collectively, we need to be that way.
I know you guys have guarded Giannis well from time to time. What makes him uniquely suited to going up against Giannis?
Well, we'll have to guard him with everybody on our team. I trust Al to guard any position because he can really move his feet. He's got great size and length, and his attention to detail is excellent. That said, it's not on one person to guard Giannis. It's not going to be one person's matchup the entire night. We have to, throw a lot of different bodies at it.
That said, how important is Al in this series?
I mean, just in general, Al's very important. He's important to the whole growth of our organization and to our every day and to what we try to accomplish in practice and games. And he's, I don't think he's any more or less important. He's just always been really important. Yeah, he's good.
What do you think? What's Jason shown you that shows you that he's ready for the postseason?
I just believe in him. I think he's a winner. He's a competitor. He's got a good emotional maturity to him, and he's a very talented basketball player. I think all those things adding up, tend to work out well. And he's played basketball his whole life. Certainly, the playoffs are always going to be a talking point. Postseason's always going to be a talking point, but you're still playing basketball, and you just have to play it at a very high level for 48 minutes.
Coach, when they go Giannis at the 5, it really opens up the floor in transition. How do you slow that down?
Their floor's open in transition when he's at the 4, when he's at the 5, when he used to play the 3, when he's played the 1. He's a monster in transition. They're great in transition. They don't have, when I look at their team, they don't have a guy at his position that's not a good transition player. Snell makes shots in transition. Middleton makes shots in transition. Parker and Giannis coming downhill, Bledsoe coming downhill are special. All those guys would be elite for their position. Henson and Zeller, tremendous rim runners. Just go through the list. Transition's a big deal. And we've got to be at back after hopefully getting a great shot. But if you turn it over, that's when they really get out and kill you. They're one of the best in conversion in the league. And it takes Giannis 2 steps to do it from the other side of the court.
Brad,
Pretty special.
Brad, obviously variables change from year to year, but since you've been in the league, how's your comfort level change in strategically game planning and stuff for the playoffs? Do you feel more comfortable than you've ever been going into this one?
I think I wouldn't say more comfortable. I think you're preparing for the opponent. You're always on high alert to what you need to do well, what your opponent does well. And I don't know that I would ever define anybody in the coaching or playing shoes probably as comfortable. So I think you're just focused on what's next. I mean, but it is basketball, and there's only so much you can do. You get ready to play the game, and then it's how you play it.
Is the same true for anxiety too? Is that, I mean, maybe comfortable's the wrong word, but is the anxiety a little bit lessened, I guess, maybe, or is that still high as well?
I've always been really excited to play, and I've always thought that my most important thing was to prepare well, and it's there's a lot of talk about the games and everything else, and ultimately, this is what you do for a living, and you get ready to play it, and hopefully temper some of those, that anxiety or whatever the case may be with, being well prepared.
It's obviously different than playoffs. What do you enjoy most about this time of year?
I just like I love playing games with everything on the line. I think that's a blast. Loved it in college, love it here. It's a great opportunity. I love to see different guys step up. I love to see narratives busted. I think that there's a lot that I really like about the postseason.
What about getting your own sleep?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, we're only playing one team. You're gonna get ready as much as you can. You're gonna focus on what you can do. But I think one of the things is that everybody needs clear mind and freshness. And that's, for me, I operate best like that. Our players operate best like that. And, hey, I think you can, in this day and age, it's a little bit easier than when you had 3 tape decks stacked on top of each other and it took 8 hours to make an edit that you were going to show your team. We can get it done in about 12 minutes on a computer, so it's a little bit different. Thank you.
Thanks, man.